Hey, what's going on, friends and family? I want to talk to you for the next 20 minutes about how life insurance is the missing piece to wealth creation. I want to share with you how life insurance, legacy, and financial freedom all go hand in hand, and how if you begin a life insurance that is well structured and set up, it can become the thing that sets your family up for generations to come for prosperity, abundance, and freedom for life. I want to introduce myself to you. I'm Vernell Samuel. I'm a pastor. I'm a husband and father. I'm a life insurance strategist. I'm a teacher, an author, and I've been helping communities reach their full potential in God through spiritual and practical ways by discovering principles that work, principles that are time tested, principles that simplify your life once you apply them. And really and truly, I stumbled upon the thing that I'm about to share with you because, as you can see in this family, my wife and my two children, when I became a pastor and I went full time in ministry, the number one concern I had was, how am I going to make sure that when I reach the age of retirement, I will be able to make sure that my wife and my kids will never have to worry about taking care of me, that I will be able to take care of them, which I believe as a man, as a provider, and as a leader was my responsibility. And I discovered that life insurance can do more than just give my family a death benefit, that if God forbid anything was to happen to me, they will be taken care of. But I also began to discover that there were secret wealth hacks that the elites have been leveraging for centuries that we have not been taking advantage of. Now, let's talk real life. Currently, how many of you that are watching me right now have life insurance? How many of you have life insurance with living benefits? How many of you have life insurance through your job, but you don't have life insurance on your own? Because really and truly, your job's life insurance, you're just pretty much renting it. Because the minute you leave your job or your job leaves you behind and fires you, you no longer have coverage. So unless you own your own policy, you're just simply borrowing or renting life insurance. Another question I have is, are you a homeowner? Are you a parent with people depending on you? Because if you're a homeowner, you want to make sure that you have enough coverage that if God forbid anything was to happen to you, will your beneficiary, or will the person who depends on you for financial support, whether it's some financial support or you're the majority breadwinner, will they still be able to afford taking care of their home? Or do you have any past experiences like a health crisis or a loss that was created by a financial strain in your family? All of these things will ultimately lead to some type of financial strain if, God forbid, anything was to happen to you. And let's look at the stats on the burden of death. 56% of African American families feel financial pressure within 6 months of losing a loved one. The average funeral at the time, and I believe that this has gone up, but the average funeral, basic funeral costs, it continues to rise yearly. And on average, it costs about $9,000 to $10,000 just to conduct one funeral. And that's just bare minimum. That's the lowest amount that you can possibly get. And 70% of families have no plan for covering these unexpected expenses. Now, some of the life insurance myths out there is that it only it's only good for death benefit. Many policies today now include valuable living benefits that you can use, meaning that you can leverage that the policy does not only kick in after you die, but If anything was to happen to you medically, where you cannot go to work or you cannot perform daily activities because you have a new disability from an accident or an injury, and you are no longer able to do certain things like go to the bathroom on your own, go to work, your life insurance benefits can kick in while you're still alive. That's the new way to use life insurance. Some people say that life insurance is just too expensive, but many policies cost less than your daily coffee habit. Some of you like your lattes, or you like your matcha, you like your chai, and you may pay anywhere between $4 to $8 a day for a coffee. Well, you can get life insurance for the same amount, and it'll actually probably be cheaper if you, depending on the policy that you get. So it's not too expensive. Some people say, "Oh, well, I'm too young. I'm only in my 20s. I'm only in my 30s." But here's the thing: the younger you are, the cheaper and more valuable coverage becomes. And some people say, well, life insurance is just for the wealthy, but everyone needs protection regardless of income level. I just mentioned how living benefits work, that if you were to get a critical illness, you can access funds. Let's say you have cancer, stroke, a heart attack. Living benefits kicks in and helps you cover those medical expenses. They cover what health insurance doesn't. And this is huge because actually, statistically, one of the number one reasons why Americans file for bankruptcy is through hospital bills. Do you know that? Hospital expenses climbing up in debt. It's the number one reason why Americans have to sell their home, lose their assets, because they don't have the funds to help pay for some of these life threatening illnesses. Well, life insurance is one of the benefits that you can use to help you take care of that. Living benefits will help you take care of hospital stays, right? Coverage that will kick in during extended medical care. And it'll also help prevent having to go through a medical bankruptcy. So, building wealth with life insurance is also one of the most misunderstood, or honestly, probably the most hidden truth about life insurance. That yes, life insurance can be a wealth creation tool. With a policy such as an IUL, which stands for Index Universal Life, it can build cash value that's linked to market indexes that historically grow at the rate between 7 to 12% on average. That means that the same money that you're putting in a bank for savings, you can be putting inside of a life insurance policy. And I'm not saying that this is an investment tool, but I am saying that it has investment benefits, that you can utilize that, and your money not only will be giving you protection if God forbid anything was to happen to you, right? Because the truth is something can happen and your money's in a bank, and if you don't have a will or trust in place, that money in the bank can still not reach your loved ones. Whereas if you have a policy and you have a trust in place, and you are able to now dictate to the life insurance companies that, hey, if anything was to happen to me, this money is going to my spouse or is going to my son or my daughter. That money goes directly to them, no questions asked. And you don't have to go through the banks. You don't have to go through the courts. You don't got to go to any of that. That money is going directly to them. So you can build wealth with life insurance. You can access money in your policy by borrowing from your policy on your terms. This is things that I wasn't taught about life insurance. Okay. So you can invest with your life insurance. You can fund real estate opportunities or invest in a business or even your own education by borrowing from your policy that is growing in cash value. You can borrow from that tax free and leverage that for your own personal business advantages. Okay, so the rich run this play all the time, and the best part is that this money or this wealth can grow. Because as your wealth increases, it can pass on from generation to generation, and it's just so much value that you cannot find anywhere else. Mortgage protection. If you own a home, you should at least have enough life insurance that covers how much you owe on the home. So if you own a house and you have about $500,000 left to pay on that house, you should have at least $500,000 in life insurance. If you own a home and you have about $300,000 left to pay on it, you should have at least more than $300,000 in a policy. Because once again, if anything was to happen to you, that policy can give you mortgage protection, which gives your loved ones the peace of mind to know that if anything was to happen to you, they can still keep their home during life's hardest moment. You can know that your family's shelter is secure. And I don't know about you, but having that alone just gives me the peace of mind as to know why I should have a policy in place. You can also leverage a life insurance policy such as an IUL for as a college fund. Typically, most people use 529, but I've been advising using IULs in replace of the 529 because with a 529 at college plan, it's only going to be used or can be used for education. And let's say in 18 years, you have a newborn baby, and by the time they're 18, they say they don't want to go to college. They want to open up their own Chick-fil-A or start their own AI business. Well, they can use the money, borrow money from their policy to launch their business. No penalties, nothing else, and it's all tax free. Whereas if you have a 529 and you don't use it for education, there are penalties for it. Okay. So this is all important. The earlier you start is the more money you can build cash value. You can watch the education fund increase over time. And again, you can fund their college by withdrawing from the policy for education. And finally, as I mentioned in the beginning of this presentation, is that life insurance can be leveraged as a tax-free retirement plan. You see, by setting up a well-structured policy today, let's say you're going to retire in 20 years, 25 years, you can begin to build cash value that by the time you reach retirement age, you can begin to withdraw from your policy tax free, and you can live off of the growth that was accumulated in your policy. So this allows you to have tax free income. There are no age penalties, whereas if you have a IRA, you can only tap into your policy at 59 and a half, and you must use it before the age of 70. But you're taxed on with your withdrawals. With life insurance, you're not taxed on your withdrawals. The age restrictions with a traditional Roth IRA, a retirement fund, there are age restrictions on when you can use it versus when a life insurance retirement plan, there are no age penalties. Traditional retirement, there are required distributions, whereas with life insurance retirement, there is flexible withdrawals. And with traditional retirement, there is market volatility risks that because your money is still tied to the stock market, there is no protection with a 401k or a Roth IRA. But with life insurance policy like an IUL, you are protected from market crashes. So with life insurance, you can leave a legacy and not a bill. You can create instant generational wealth upon your passing. You can also create a trust fund where you can set up structured support for your children and grandchildren. You can also have generational impact where you can fund education, you can fund business ventures and property for decades. And you can give your family opportunities you may never have had. So here's what I want you to do. If you would like a free policy review, or you would like to uh, explore your current coverage and see what kind of protection you have in place, I can help you out. If you don't know if you have living benefits or not, you can also reach out. or you just want to get peace of mind and walk away knowing that your family is truly protected, let's get on a call and let's get a free policy review going. Other than that, we can also just see if you want to explore your options today. I can help you put coverage in place immediately. I can help see if you have been, if you are qualified, because you do have to qualify for insurance. So I can see if you qualify and what you can qualify for. And we can even talk about strategies as to how you can leverage life insurance according to all the things I talked about: retirement planning, mortgage protection, a college fund for your kids. Whatever your goals are, we can structure a policy for you that can help meet the needs that you have in mind. All right. So, beloved, I pray for you that your family will thrive and that you will flourish and that you can be secure in your future as you apply the wisdom of setting up life insurance for you, your family, your children, and your children's children. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But right now, just click that link that is in the description to get on a call with me. Let's talk about how you can prosper today by setting up a plan through life insurance. Have a blessed day. Much love.